Hey, I'm Mitch Bohannon with Worship Musician Magazine. I'm here looking at GooRoo Controller's new LIOBOX2 to control Ableton. I use Ableton. It also works with Pro Tools and Reaper and Logic Pro, other DAWs as well. I've been using Ableton for a long time. I've used several different controllers, and this one has some special features that the others just have never had before. Largely, it's this beautiful screen with song title names included. Let's look at how it works and how to get set up. First of all, LIOBOX2 is got a metal housing. It's a steel chassis that it's built into. Comes with this very strong magnetic mounting plate that could be mounted in a variety of places to make it accessible, whether it's at the keys, at the drums, or any other person, even at the sound desk. These tactile buttons, if you listen, you can hear it click, you feel it. The silicone buttons feel great. There's no slip. The lights are bright and controllable. You can control the colors. Everything is assignable. So I've got a play, rewind, forward, and a stop button that's also a pause. And I've got a rotary that I can roll between songs in the set list. I have readout options that give me BPM, key, and time, and that's assignable on screen. So it gets all of its information from Ableton. It's once you install the script, which I'll show you in just a second, it is truly plug and play. The modes are assignable between all tracks mode or creating a set list. I'll show you that in just a second. There's Pro Tools, there's Logic, there's Reaper, and then you have MIDI in and out on the back as well. There's a play.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
A stop. The arrow designates where the next play will hit.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
And a stop. It's also a pause, which is a great feature as well. So let's add a track. So I'll have more than two, and I'll show you how that falls. So let's first set up the GooRoo LIOBOX to work with Ableton. When you get into Ableton, you want to see on the MIDI preferences, you want to see LIOBOX. I'm using Ableton 11. If you're using 10, you'll have 10 there. So for you to be able to see this, which you won't if you first plug in the LIOBOX, you've got to get the script. You download the script, and when it drops in, you get a zip file. Open that zip file, and then you take this file and go to Ableton Live, right-click, Show Package Contents, go to Contents, go to App Resources, and then to MIDI Remote Scripts. Take this folder and drop it into that folder, which I did. You'll see LIOBOX, Ableton 11. Once you do that, and then you open Ableton, you will see in MIDI and can designate that that is your control surface. Now let's open up the arrangement test that I set up. We were looking at this earlier. I have two songs. I have the song Always. So it just has a click and a cues track. Then I have Belong to You that has click, cues, and then all these grouped instruments. And I'll check out my other videos and I'll show you how to set all of that up. But let me give you a couple of pointers while we're at it. Let's go ahead, even though we're not going to use a key controller, while we're setting up, let's give these song 1 and song 2 titles and key control buttons. So I'm going to go to key, give number 1 1, give number 2 2, which I've already done. I'm going to get a third, and we're going to give that one number 3. That way I can use my numbers to go from one to the next. We're going to give these titles. So the first title is always. Use a colon, and I'm going to give the BPM is 71. Another colon. The key is B. Actually, I play it in A, so I'm going to put it in A. Give a colon, and the time. Go to your files. This is in this one, and this will tell you how long it lasts. 5:52. So I'm going to come back up here, rename. I'm going to add 5:52 at the end. This one belong to you. .67 tempo. I play it in C, and then we need the time. Let's go back to where we were. Belong to you. And I'm just clicking on a wave. This is shows the length of the song. It is 4:55. See it right there, duration, 4:55. That's how long the track is. So I'm going to go back up here, rename. I'm going to add 4:55 to the end. This is helpful because the LIOBOX will calculate the total time for your worship set list. Pretty cool feature. So we have an issue because I've identified a chorus and a chorus in both of the songs. And the LIOBOX sees that as an issue, and it says that two scenes or locators have the same name. The way around this, you can still have your chorus, verse, bridge delineations or markers. All we have to do is add a set of parentheses before the word chorus or bridge or verse or whatever it is. Whatever we don't want identified by the LIOBOX, we want the parentheses. Now I'm going to use my number 3 song. So let's grab a song. I'd like to get ones that I have tracks to. Here's the song Enough. So I'm going to drag it in. I can highlight all the waves and pull them in. You'll see they're all on the same line. If we hold down the command key, it drops them to separate tracks. Now I've got all of my Enough stems, and they're at measure 0 or measure 1 with always. What I've got to do is highlight them. I'm going to right click and cut. Then I'm going to hit key number 3. That takes me right there to song 3, and then I'm going to paste. And now they've moved forward to song 3. What I do like is I like my click to all be on the same line. It's only heard by me. I like it all going through the same volume control. So I've got my click, got my cues, and now they're on number 3. I'm going to rename this. This is Enough. The BPM is 112. The key, I'd play it in A. And now we need the song length. Go back to my file. Grab a wave, and my total time is 3:23. And there we go. We have song 1, song 2, and song 3 visible. Now let's look at how that changed on the LIOBOX. With the LIOBOX not connected to Ableton, get a red X in the top left corner. When it sees Ableton, that will turn green. Even if you're not selected on your Ableton screen, it stays connected because it is the MIDI controller. Now I've added this third song. Let me open up my screen so we can see it. I've added the third song, but it's not showing up in the LIOBOX because the LIOBOX had loaded the previous 2-song set list. So I'm going to go to Mode, Ableton All Tracks, and now I can see Enough, Always, and Belong to You. So now I can scroll through. This would be great for rehearsal. I can see all the tracks.
Intro.
Let's play Belong to You.
4.
Now let's play, instead of Enough, let's play Always.
Intro. 2, 3, 4.
And then now let's do Enough.
Intro.
Well,
2, 3, 4.
if that's the order we like it in, we'll go ahead and create a set list. So I'm going to go to set list. I'm going to go to add a set list. So I'll start from scratch. So this is set list number 3. I'm going to modify that set list because it has no tracks in it yet. I'm going to add a track. I have all the tracks that I have in Ableton available, and all their times are available. So I'm going to start with, I'll do it in backwards order. So I'll start with Enough, then I'll go to Belong to You, then I'll go to Always. The green ones are in the set list. If I had more, they would be white. Now I can go back. This is my back button. And there's my set list. Enough, Belong to You, Always. Let's go back. I'm going to modify that set list. And I'm going to move Always up to the top song. So I'm going to decide to make Always start the service, then Enough, and then Belong to You. Now let's set up the LIOBOX in session view. I have a 6-song set list that I've created. Some have some tracks. They all have click. They all have cues. But once I open this, you'll see LIOBOX has red titles. It hasn't loaded this set list yet. So let's go back to our mode, and we're going to go Ableton All Tracks. And there they are. So started with Always, then Revelation Song. The reason this shows 4 out of 8, it's going to stay on 4 because Blessed Assurance is 4. I know that Always is number 1. So if I click this go, it's going to say 1 out of 8.
Intro. 2, 3.
Revelation Song is 2nd, and so on. But let's put these in a workable order. So we're going to create a set list just like we did. Set list. What I'm going to do is I'm no longer am using set list 1, so I'm going to modify that. And I'm going to remove all the tracks that are in it because I'm not going to use that set list again. So now I'm going to add a track. We're going to start with Forever Rain. Then we're going to do Revelation Song. Open Up the Heavens, and Always More. 4 songs out of the 6. We won't do Always or Blessed Assurance. I'm going to back out of that. And there's my 4-song set. We'd need to load the set list because the green set list is the one that's loaded. So I'm going to load set list 1. And it's ready to go. Forever Rain. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had that track so long that it's from before we had pre-recorded count ins. And so that was my count in. Now I'll go to Revelation song.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
What the LIOBOX will do that I've not ever gotten anything else to do, it will pause in session view. We finish that song.
Open Up the Heavens.
That was
1,
old too.
2, 3, intro.
And then finish with Always More.
Intro, 1, 2.
BPM, key, and time signature are all visible.